this is day 2 of spring break. It's pouring outside today, so I need to do some indoor stuff rather than go for a walk in the park. We did get the order to stay in place at this point in Oregon, so it's going to be an interesting spring break, looking for some projects to do around the house to kind of keep myself busy, so I don't kind of descend into a pit of Netflix and not do anything that I've been wanting to do. So one of the projects that's been on my list for a little bit was to finish a writing desk that I started about 2 weeks ago. Just because school was still going on, I hadn't finished it quite yet. But basically, the project is just converting a simple door that you get from Lowe's or Home Depot. You can get a hollow core door for pretty cheap. $40 is what the cost of this one was. It's unfinished, or it was unfinished, excuse me, when I bought it. So just birch door, and now I've stained it and added many coats of polyurethane to it. This one was a water-based polyacrylic. It's a little bit better to use a water-based polyacrylic for indoor projects because I find that the off-gassing is almost negligible. You can't really smell it, whereas when you use some of the oil-based stuff, it's pretty stinky. So I try to avoid that at all costs for indoor finishes, but it can be used. You just need to give it enough time to air out. I'm just going to give a quick pan of my office so you can kind of see what's going on here. The desk that I have is about a 4-foot desk. It's kind of small for what I need it for, especially now that I'm going to be working from home and using this space for multiple purposes. I'm going to try to keep this mostly for writing and for some work, but it needs to be kind of multifunctional, and there's just not enough room. So this is kind of the space. I've got a twin bed over here that I really use as a reading area. It's kind of messy in here right now, but it'll be cleaned up. So this desk, you can see the legs attached to it are just IKEA legs. I'm going to be using those same legs on the new desktop, so it'll be the same height. Nothing really is going to change except for the color and the size. It's going to be quite a lot larger. So I'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished. So in case you've never seen the bottom of a table with IKEA legs on it, this is what it looks like. This is the desk that I originally had that I've kind of just flipped over. I'm stealing the legs from it, and I'm going to put it on the door. So I put the door on a blanket. This is the back side of it, just to protect the front. I'll show you the finished product here in a couple minutes, but I'm just going to move these 4 legs over there. It's a really good idea with screws like this and kind of more fragile woods to do some pre-drilling. So what I'm going to do is take a small drill bit that's just a little bit smaller than the actual screws here, and I'm going to pre-drill some holes for where I want the legs here, just so I don't split or crack the wood. So the legs are all installed. I don't know that I love the white legs on it. That's kind of something I'll consider changing, but I wanted to have this available for me to work with over spring break and have a nice writing area. So this is the final look. It is 8 feet long, so it's about 4 feet longer than the last desk was. If I move a little bit closer, you can see the finish on it. It's got a number of poly coats on it. It turned out really good, but this is a door. You can't tell that it's a door, really, unless you're looking very closely at it. It has a kind of hole that's already pre-drilled, which is kind of nice if you want to run cords and have this pushed up against the wall. I don't have mine pushed against the wall because I've got these curtains that I like to be able to open and close behind it, so I've got it out a couple inches from there. But I like the way it's turned out. If I was to do it again, I probably would have another leg with this span. I'd probably put another one toward the back just so it stays a little bit more solid. It is a little bendy. I wouldn't put a ton of weight on top of it, but for my purposes, it's gonna work great. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Look at the finish. It looks really pretty. It's nice and shiny. It'll be really easy to clean just with regular washcloth and just whatever product you use. Use a gentle one so you don't strip it, but I use 7th generation spray, and that tends to work just fine on this finish. So this is the final look. Thanks for joining me.